Hey Bonnie. I'll tell you, nursing can be a trip. I mean, there seems to be so many rules and regulations.
Totally. I know what you mean, Clyde. We have been talking about patient safety in class. I know that it is important to keep your patient safe. I mean, that is common sense, right?
I would think so, but I guess there are a lot of ways that patients can get hurt.
I mean, there are a lot of chemicals, equipment, body fluids, cleaning solutions, medications that are cytotoxins, and diseases in the hospital.
I had a patient who decided that she wanted to smoke and she was on oxygen.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Not at all. Aside from the flow of the oxygen, I learned that oxygen molecules can build up on patients' hair, body, and clothes. One spark and,
I don't even want to think about it.
well, luckily we educated her about the dangers before anything happened.
I had a patient who was standing up on the toilet and smoking in his hospital bathroom. When I saw him, I almost freaked out. I mean, he could have fallen.
Oh boy.
I remember when I was in the hospital as a patient, my phone fell under the bed and I got off of the bed and onto the floor. I was reaching under the bed to get my phone and the nurse came in. She looked really surprised because she thought I fell.
And you could have. I mean, anyone can fall.
Especially when we are sick and in a new place.
Shoot, I have tripped in my own house.
When you get down to it, the patients are like our guests in the hospital. It is our responsibility to keep them safe.
That makes sense. I mean, they are paying to receive care. Their goal is to get better and leave.
Unnecessary injuries just make the stay longer and can cause a lot of complications.
I never thought about it that way.
Nurses always have to think about what could happen and try to prevent harm.
I read about a person who fell off of a MRI table. I think that they were paralyzed as a result.
That is what I mean. The staff probably just turned away for one moment and that was all it took.
Darn. I mean, that is terrible.
When my mom was in the hospital for her surgery, they gave her pain medication. She was eating pretend pizza and she thought she heard dogs on the ceiling.
The staff had a hands-on policy anytime she was up. They also made sure they set her bed and chair alarms. I remember that.
I can see why that was important now. I remember when she wanted to go to the bathroom. When she sat on the toilet, she told the nurse that she was fine and asked the nurse to close the bathroom door and let her have a few minutes to herself.
What did the nurse say?
She told her that part of her care meant that she always had an escort when she was up and out of bed. She told her that her job was to keep her safe and she took that job seriously.
Your mom is feisty. What did she say to that?
Actually, she understood and appreciated the concern. I think she just felt like she didn't want to be a burden.
I understand totally. My clinical instructor told us that if a person is a fall risk, then we need to take the necessary precautions. It is part of the hospital policy and procedures.
I mean, the hospital doesn't make these rules to make our lives, as nurses, harder, they make the rules to try and help us and to keep everyone safe.
Plus, many of the policies and procedures are created by nurses who work in the hospital. They find the best and latest evidence-based practices and write them in policies.
Wow, I had not idea it was that complex.
It is really all about keeping everyone safe.
I am starting to understand all of this more.
The hospital also has to follow policies that OSHA sets.
Who is OSHA?
Many years ago, working conditions were terrible. People grew tired of it and realized that a safe working place is important. OSHA was created.
So they are dedicated to helping to keep workplaces safe?
Yes, they have rules and regulations. Like, did you know that there are spill kits in every hospital and the hospital has to keep safety data sheets on all of the chemicals that they use?
Nope. I had no idea.
That class bell scares me every time.
Me too.
Well, I guess it is time to get to class.
Our assignment this week is about keeping patients safe, right?
Yep.
I'll see you later, Clyde.
Bye, Bonnie.